Hey everyone, welcome to another critical episode of Bros Who Know. I'm Dr. Jeff LeCure. To my right is the Darth Vader of podcasts. Today, we got a special one for you. And I know a lot of you already are noticing that Rich is in his classical black and I'm in yellow.
What'd you have on last time?
I was in pink.
Okay. Good.
Boy, did I get some feedback about that, Rich. I'm telling you, I haven't had so many invitations to go to Provincetown. I'm telling you, do you wear a pink shirt? People make assumptions. That ain't getting edited out, because if you can't laugh at the joke, we're going to laugh at you. Speaking of which, the fact that Rich is in black and I'm in yellow, and you know I always give Rich kind of, the Will Smith, the podcast, the Darth Vader. Well, since we're black and yellow today, I want to be known as the Wiz Khalifa of podcasts, minus the extensive usage of marijuana. I don't use it all. Wiz, if you're watching, that's a cool name. If you're watching, I know you're high. Put your Fruit Loops down. We're just saying hi. We're just checking in. Hey, today we're going to talk to you about I can't even call it a controversy. We're going to talk about why are there so many men trying to or actually participating in women's athletics. Women's athletics. And just as a quick little foundation, a lot of you know that I've coached young women for years. And I'm not putting that background information out there just to say, ooh, I'm some expert. But guess what I am? And I'm highly protective of women's athletics. And I find it phenomenal, Rich, that in a country that says we're sexist still, and a country where there's still this kind of, we're not doing enough for women, we actually have women out there, actual women, who are saying, nah, these dudes should be absolutely permitted to be in locker rooms and to be on women's athletics teams and to be a member of the Olympics and to turn another woman's face to goo. It absolutely blows my mind. So Rich and I are here to talk to you today about women with penises and what that means for athletics. So before I turn it over to Rich, on behalf of Rich and I have to say that whoever came up with the word to talk about men's genitalia and named it a penis clearly doesn't like men. And if I can just expand on that, Rich, if you look at the word vagina, I wish vagina was the word for men, because we'd be talking about our V. Vagina just sounds tough. How's your vagina? But you can't ever make, how's your penis? How's your penis today? Whoever came up with that word hates men. But we are going to talk about men with penises competing against women. So Rich, on that beautiful note, as a dude with a dick yourself, let's talk about it. What's your views on that, Rich? What's going on?
Well, I guess we're talking about the boxing, the Olympics.
That's part of it.
What was his name? Or her name?
Hank or Phil or something like that. I'm not sure.
So she's intersex hermaphrodite. So I guess the proper way of saying is she's a hermaphrodite. So I guess it could go two ways. I guess you could have an XX chromosome and still have a penis, or you could have an XXY chromosome and have a penis and I guess the testicles that produces actually, the hormone testosterone. Mm-hmm. So so the XX, I don't think we're worried about that. I think we're worried about the XXY, which is basically a man and a female in one person. Mm-hmm. The problem is that they have thicker bones, their skull's like a man, their features are like a man, and they're pumping testosterone.
That's right. And they tend to be larger.
Right. So so basically it's not a woman.
No.
So it's a man fighting a woman, and time after time we see what the results are.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So what's your take on that?
Well, Rich, I'll tell you, I just did my Wake Up Call podcast where I talked about the Democrats are into distraction, so you don't look at really what's going on. The reality is, if we look at these two sort of undisputed facts, somebody who is born into the wrong body happens but we're talking about minuscule of a tenth of a tenth of a tenth of a tenth percent. So even somebody born XXY, we're talking about a tiny percent.
Mhm.
But yet we're so focused on it, right? Like, how do you identify? Here's what we know too that's irrefutable, is that the majority of people, particularly men, born men, men with penises, there's that lovely word again, have substantial, not a little bit, but substantial mental health issues. And we should talk about it as such. But because, and I'm a shrink, so obviously I support people around their mental health issues. What I don't support is because you have a mental health issue, you have a right to go into my daughter's locker room, or you have a right to play on my daughter's athletic team, or you have a right to box my daughter, or you don't have any right. You have a right to be on a men's team if you choose to do it, if you can make the men's team, right? But I think, Rich, part of what we really have to look at is why are we using this as a distraction? Because it's
Okay.
such a small group,
Right.
right?
Right.
It's such a small group.
Well, so this particular person, the one in the Olympics, he was born that way.
Hmm.
So it's not a transgender female that turned into a male that turned into a female.
Not in the classical
That's
sense.
yeah, that's not. They were born with the XXY
That's right.
chromosome. So there's no dispute there.
Mhm.
Okay, but the problem lies with this. There's a problem is that it's a safety issue.
Mhm.
You know, a woman, the skull it's not as
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. The power, like a power from a man is different from a power from a woman. I hate to say it, physically it's just different.
Oh, it's real true.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
So
it's
true.
no denying that. So when she punches him, she's giving him a head massage.
That's right.
When he's punching her, he's doing some damage.
That's right.
That's why she couldn't take the amount of punching.
Yeah.
But here's where we always go back to this. One, people need to take responsibility of their life.
That's right.
Two, women need to start sticking together.
Oh, big
right.
time.
So this was easy. I tell you how to handle this. If I was a woman,
Mhm.
and if I was the best boxer in women's sports, boxing, I wouldn't fight him.
Ever.
And I'll tell you why. I would say I'm not fighting because it's a safety issue.
That's right.
If he has testicles, he has testosterone,
That's right.
right?
That's
and I'm not going to fight, and it's going to be a safety issue. All women need to say that because if all women say they're not going to fight him, he doesn't move up the ladder.
That's right.
Now, even if they just give it to him, no one's going to like that,
Right.
right? The next time and the next time and next, maybe the fourth time, he's not even. He won't even enter because no one would fight him.
That's right.
That's how you solve the problem,
It's so easy.
right? But I wouldn't. But women are waiting for the outside to say this is not right. No, don't wait for the outside. Stick together, right? Discuss this amongst yourself. I already gave you the out. It's a safety issue.
That's right.
Why are you not fighting? Because I don't want. It's a safety issue. I don't want to have brain damage later on.
And
He's physically stronger
that's
than me
right.
out the gate, right?
it makes a mockery of the athletic event, and I've gone on record, on camera and off camera, Rich, that as a coach of young women, if we ever come up against a team that has a transgender dude, right, that in their own mental health ways says I'm a woman in the same way that I guess you and I can say we're women, my team's not playing. My team will not play a team that has a dude who thinks they're a woman. It's not happening. It's
Well, you're not supporting
fair.
that cause. You're not supporting
It's
the
not
cause.
safe, and I will not. I'm telling you, Rich. I'm telling you, folks. I'm not making a mockery of women's athletics, right? Women's athletics have been in the shadows, and they've been second and third tier for centuries.
Right.
I don't know if it's going to change anytime soon, but I'll tell you what will change is as a man with a penis, there's that word again, my girls are not playing, I will not coach against a team that has somebody out there with a penis.
Right.
And here's my line in the sand, because you hear some people talk about the debate, what is a woman? Well, let's talk about what is a man. See, a man is born with a penis.
It's
A
an XY
woman
chromosome.
is born with the ability, not every woman can because there's infertility. A woman is born with the ability to get pregnant. No matter what people say and some of the Looney Tunes out there, men cannot have babies. And it's a scientific fact. And I also want to put it out there, Rich. Probably don't need to, but I'm gonna. I don't care. I don't care if somebody wants to identify as a tree or the American flag or this microphone. Identify what you want. But don't expect me to embrace it. I won't stand in your way, but I don't have to embrace it. I'm not going to be called homophobic or sexist or any of the little funky phrases that I've been caused or called because I'm not playing the game. I'm not doing the Emperor's New Clothes. I'm not doing Willy Wonka, right? You're a man. You were born a man, and now you're trying to play in female athletics because you couldn't hack it against other men. And I would say the same thing to a woman who says, I'm going to transition into becoming a man and now I want to play in those sports. No. And I think in some ways, Rich, I hate to say it because I just don't believe we have to accommodate everybody. Sometimes people have to accommodate the norms. 3 bathrooms, and let's have 3 different kinds of athletic teams. Men, women, and whatever the hell you want to do. And if a woman wants to be in the whatever you want,
Yeah, but that's fine.
right?
That's fine. So,
But it's safety.
right. So, forget about the the transgender males and that the transition from a male to transgender females that change to a.
It's hard to keep up with, isn't it?
Yeah. And the hermaphrodites, right? So my daughter belonged to not gymnastics. Was it cheerleading? It's been so long. I can't even. So she was in the cheerleading. I used to come and go see her play, and they had 2 guys that were in the cheerleading, right? And I watched I watched their team, and Milford had an amazing team with two guys that were in the team, and I'm telling you, the women were amazing, but the guys, they jumped extra. They're a little bit higher.
That's right.
Their flips were a little bit higher. They could do, since they have the height, they could do a lot of different tricks with that height. Now, it made the whole team exciting. But what ended up happening is the team that had the most guys in it, usually the ones that win. Which is a little bit sad because, traditionally, chilling was predominantly women.
That's right.
But you get one guy in there, like 2 guys in, and these guys, I got to tell you, listen,
They're strong.
they were good.
That's right.
The women were really good, but I tend to I couldn't wait to see what the guys going to do. I can't even lie. Until I saw what the women do, and they did amazing.
Right.
But we always, forget if he was a man. Say if that man was a woman doing the tricks that he was doing, I would want to see that.
Absolutely.
But he just happened to be a man that did it. Okay.
And,
so that's being said.
Is actually a man.
Is actually
and
a man.
dressed as a man.
Dressed like a man.
Not
right?
trying to pretend to be a woman, right?
Right. And but they're just men are just stronger.
100%.
It's not. But see,
are.
the thing is, we watch movies, right, where women are beating up 5 or 6 guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're doing, they're doing like stunts,
Yeah.
And you see these women, they know these karate, they jump on your head and they do a flip and they flip you over, right? And then 5 guys are laying on the ground. Now,
Yeah.
that's good in movies.
Right. It's a good theory.
But in the Olympics, you get your head beat in.
That's right.
And the guy's not. I'm telling you, she wasn't even that big of a man.
No.
But
Well, it's a weight class.
it's a weight class. I know, but still, she still has
But
a lot
imagine
more power.
how the women that this dude's fighting against, they have trained for this moment in time.
I know, it's terrible.
But somehow if it's okay that it's unfair to the women who are boxing this dude, but we can't say to the dude no because somehow it's unfair to them. Let me give you a first-hand story, Rich, that just happened a couple of weeks ago. So as you know, I'm a member of several gyms.
I know.
All right.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm a member of several gyms, and I'm not going to mention the gym. I will say, in fairness, it's not the gym that Richie and I belong to together, but we're watching. And there's a young woman who comes in, and I can't tell if she's a teenager, early 20s, but she's dressed as a boy. She's got, I forget what they're called, but it really flattens out a woman's chest to give it more of a flat look, which is ironic because you and I are doing heavy benches to get a bigger look. I don't, maybe Rich and I are transgender. I don't know. We got something going on, right? We're making our chest bigger. Think about that for a second. Back to the point. So, I mean, it is what it is. And like I said, do I support her right to walk into the gym dressed as a guy and to sort of change her body through garments and undergarments to hide some of the feminine qualities? I support her 100%. Here's what I don't support. So, you know me, Rich, I don't like germs. So after every workout, what do? I go right in and I scrub my hands. I'm like a surgeon in there. And in this gym, there's the sink, and then you walk to the other side, and there's like the mirrors. Who do I see in the men's locker room but this young girl? With her
Now, are you sure she's a girl, though?
100%.
Okay.
With her cell phone out, either videoing her, or taking selfies, like, yay me, right? I'm in the dude's locker room. You know me. I went right to the front desk. And I said, look, I know you probably don't know what I do for work, but I'm a shrink. And I'm going to tell you right now. And she was actually now out doing like pull downs. I see her over there? And they go, yep. I go, she was just in the men's locker room. And I said, here's my concern. I don't care who she loves, who she is. I'm not out there on the fringe. But I have two concerns for safety. I said, I know for a fact that this young girl will not be sexually assaulted in a girl's locker room, because that's not what women do in general. I can't say that for sure in a men's locker room.
Right.
2, she's a girl. She doesn't belong in there in the same way I don't belong in the woman's locker room. And 3, I said, all it'll take is for this young woman to say, this guy dropped his towel after the shower, or he was looking at me, or made me uncomfortable, and this guy's job and life and reputation is over.
Yeah.
Now, the front desk seemed to take it seriously,
And
I left.
Yeah, they're not.
Guess what I saw today when I left that
She was
same
back
gym?
in the bathroom.
She was back in the bathroom again,
Yeah,
Rich.
because
It's got to stop.
Yeah, well, so
it's got to
so
stop.
this has
From a safety standpoint, it's got to
right,
stop.
It won't stop.
No.
So this has many layers to it. It's not just it's not one application. It's many layers to this. And the layers are it's simple. It's very simple, and it's you have to not be selfish. You know, life is not about you. Like, everyone's trying to make life about me. Like, since I feel this way, then everyone has to respect that. Look, it should be I feel this way, but I want to respect everybody else. All right, and that's I'm telling you, that's where we are today. Like, yeah, listen, you know, you feel like a woman, good for you. You feel like, you know, you want to join sports because you feel like a woman, good for you. But you should also say to yourself, maybe if I join the sport because I'm bigger and stronger, like, I'm going to hurt somebody. And what's more important, me wanting to do this sport or hurting another individual because I'm bigger than them?
That's right.
Like, you got to take, and like I said, for women, you know, all you women out there, you got to take responsibility of your life. You have to.
That's right.
You know, you got to stick together. So this is one of my big my pet peeve on the whole, like, men and women. All right, and I'm gonna tell you, and I say this time and time again. Men love women. Women always had more power than men. The problem is that women, like you guys, don't stick together. If you guys stuck together, you would own the whole planet. But you can't get along with each other. I don't understand why you would fight a man. I don't understand it for the life of me. If men had a situation like that, we would say, listen, I'm not doing it.
Right.
And we would stick together. Because as long as you have an alliance, with alliance comes power. You have an alliance with you, and you stand together, you created power and value. Those are the two significant things that can you open up opportunities with power and you know and value. But when you fight someone who's not a woman, when you're a woman, you fight another person and you lose, people feel bad for you. We say, that's not right, this, not, and the other, but you didn't make a movement.
Right.
The movement would be not to fight them in the first place.
To
Think
stand
about it. I
up for
gave
what
you
you
the
believe.
answer.
Right.
That's
Stand up.
stand up, stick together.
Right.
Forget about the jealousy. Forget about all the drama. Think about, don't play checkers, play chess. Think about what your plan's going to be 5 years, 6 years from now. Plan today for 5 or 6 years. Stick together, band together, and make decisions that's going to benefit you 5 or 6 years. You might not win initially, but over time, time will give you value. Over time, you will prevail.
Rich, you bring up such a good point about if women would stand together, which this blows my mind, right? Because if you and I talk about somebody who's transgendered and we say, see, I don't use the word respect. I use the word tolerate, right? I tolerate people. I try to tolerate people, but I don't respect people. I respect people who are kind, caring, loving, who like me. I guess I might respect them. I tolerate everybody else. But here's the deal. See, there's going to be people watching our podcast today, and they're going to go, man, that Jeff and Rich, there's some sort of ist, there's some sort of ism, because they're guys. And they're going to smear us with that. But why women would ever support a man in woman's clothes, in women's athletics or a woman's locker, it is beyond me. Because I'm going to use your words. Every time they support the dude in women's clothing to participate with something with women, they're giving away their power.
Exactly.
They're actually sending themselves back 100 years. Women fought hard. Trust me, I know it as a coach of women. They fought hard for equality of opportunity in athletics. And now they're just willing to give it away and say, here's my buddy Charlie with the penis, but you know what? I don't want Charlie with the penis to feel bad, so come on my team.
Right.
Right?
No, you
You
can't
have it both ways.
You have to make a stand, right? It's just you get with it. You
And
have to make a stand.
apparently, if you talk to Riley Gaines, a lot of men in the locker room were making a stand because something was standing up.
Right? No, I know.
Right?
Terrible.
Isn't that true?
That's true.
Like the dude actually admitted that he got sexually aroused by changing in a women's locker room.
That's shame on you for anyone who allowed that to happen. Shame on you.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing. Let me tell you. So women, if you think that like men don't want you to have power, you are absolutely wrong. I'm gonna tell you why.
It's attractive.
Because men are attracted to strong women.
Bingo.
We love strong women. If I see a woman walk by and she's like no confidence, I tell you right now, if I want to date a woman, and a woman says to me, "Why do you like me?" I'm out. I don't even. I say to myself, "Yeah, you're right. Why do I like you?"
Yeah, good
right?
point. Good point.
Women, you say a couple of things. Another thing that women say is, "You enter a relationship, I don't want to get hurt." Well, I'm out, because part of getting hurt is part of the process of being in a relationship.
That's right.
You have to be willing to get hurt to be in a relationship. Any man that tells you, listen, I don't know you got to be honest with me. Do you like me? Because I don't want to get hurt. Don't bother being with them. If I ever say that, don't even talk to me.
That's it.
Okay, because you have to be willing to get hurt to be in a relationship.
That's right.
So there's a lot of basic information that we all need to have before we can move forward with normancy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And part of it, like as I said, there's problems on both sides of the fence. One is, listen, if you're a guy, you want to be a woman, that's great, okay? But don't hurt other women in sports. Don't take the sports of women just because you want to be a woman. That's a terrible thing. Now, if you want to enter sports, if they have like a team that that's all, because look, you have all women team, all men team. Mm-hmm. It's okay to have an all transgender team. And sports,
absolutely.
And that doesn't have to be so. Sports like checkers or chess, make it men and women. Who cares?
Deal.
You know what I mean? But when it has to do with a physical part that makes you stronger than the other opponent, absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
And women, like I said, stick together. Don't be jealous of each other. Be strong as a group. Over time, you'll be powerful. You'll create value, and you can do whatever you want to do as a group.
100%, right?
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We don't talk about. We love each other. Men, we go out to the gym. We love each other. Listen, it's the oddest thing that I ever seen. You talk to a woman, every woman, all you guys. I can't stand women. My best friend's a male. Of course your best friend's a male. We love you guys. Like, yeah, we're going to do whatever we can do. It makes no sense.
And men, we don't see. That's the funny thing. Men don't inherently compete with women. Women compete with each other.
No,
right?
right.
We just don't. We just don't. We're like, if a woman talks to us and she's confident, we're like, yay me.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So, note to self to all the single ladies out there. Who's saying that song? All the single. But all the single ladies out there, if you want to meet the big dog and you got limited confidence or a penis, Rich ain't reaching out to you. I'm just telling you. Right? Isn't that something?
Thing. Yeah.
Hey, quick side note. Speaking of men, or I guess technically, well, men with penises, that's redundant. Men dressing up as women who have penises, it is the fastest growing sexual fetish out there.
That's crazy.
Isn't that something? And you know what?
But who's attracted? So when they do, so you're a psychologist. So just for quick.
I like the way you questioned it. Like,
who's attracted? Because let me tell you something. When I see a man dressed like a woman,
yeah,
they don't even try.
No.
Like, most, I shouldn't say, so it's a percentage. Everything's percentage.
Right.
The ones I've seen, like, they don't even try. Like, they'll have, like, high heel shoes on with hairy legs. I don't get that.
It's so delightful.
They don't even, like, they don't know how to put their makeup on correctly.
I'll do the short version because that'll be a separate podcast. But what is happening is, here's the short version. In a relationship, a long-term relationship, the sexual energy and chemistry and excitement changes. And it never increases. Over time, it starts to decrease, which is why when you're in a new relationship, like, you know, I don't think Motel 6 or backseat of cars would even exist if we didn't have new relationships. That's right, I said it. But here's the deal. What we see now is so much is on the internet, right? And there's so much talk about being transgendered that it's kind of like, huh, how about that? And let me throw this curveball out to our viewers. Guess what the number one, this is science. So I hope Vice President Chameleon Harris appreciates this and puts it in her platform. Guess what the number one sexual fantasy is for black men right now?
What's that?
Women, wink, wink, with penises. So they've had breast augmentation.
I'm gonna have to. I don't know. I gotta see the right.
No, I'm not saying this black man. I'm not saying this black man. That's right, I said it. Zoom in on it. Look at the skin color here, and have fun trying to figure that one out. All right.
Okay, so I have to recorrect. I have to correct myself from before. So when I've seen, a couple of times when I went out and I was with a female, right,
yeah,
she would say, "That's a guy. That's a man dressed like a woman."
Absolutely.
And I didn't know it. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know it. So the ones that you don't know, they walk better than a woman. It's crazy. Like
Yeah.
they got the whole thing down pat. Like they walk. They do that runway walk. They dress better than some women. Most women. All right. And they're men. And you have to zoom in and find out. But the majority, the ones that I can pick out, right? The ones that I can just know off the bat, they just don't care. So the ones that just don't care, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Because you have to. I'm telling you, if you're gonna be a man that dress like a woman, you better kill that. No, seriously, right?
Yeah,
You better better spend some time. Shave your. Now I'm gonna pick on you now. If you're gonna be a man and you're gonna transition to a woman, do it right. Like hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
Shave your legs. Do your nails. Don't halfway do it because it doesn't look good. Right?
Yeah,
hit it out of the park.
It's funky stuff. We'll throw this out, close it, because what we're highlighting, Rich, is that this issue of men competing in women's sports is very complicated, and there's a lot of nuances in it, right? We're talking about relationships. I love how you brought up that women are actually giving away their power. I love how the fact that I'm bringing up that you have to take a stand.
Oh, yes.
And as a man, and you're saying the same thing. And as a man, I'm telling you, as a coach, regardless of my gender, I'm taking a stand.
Yeah, but women most likely, I'm telling you,
they have to take.
Well, because what women don't understand is not women, men, women, anyone. Mm-hmm. What happens is if you're waiting for someone else to be nice and say, you know what, I'm sorry this happened to you, I'm going to change it. You're going to be waiting your whole life.
Absolutely.
You have to say, listen, you have to put boundaries up and say, look, this is what I would tolerate, and this is what I won't tolerate, and then have groups, like build build a group or build relationship with other women
That's
that
right.
shares the same ideology that you do.
That's right.
And stand together. Don't worry about what she's wearing. Don't worry if she's pretty to you or skinny than you or any of those
She
things.
probably is.
Yeah, but who cares?
That's right.
We don't care what other guys. I'm telling
That's
listen,
right. We don't care.
Like I said,
we don't care.
I go to the gym. I don't got abs.
Right.
Guy come in, he pulls up his shirt. He got 6 pack of abs. You know what I say? Good for you, bro.
That's it. We high five each
I
other.
could do it. I'm talking about if I had a Reese cup next to me or abs, like I picked the Reese cup. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna hate on the guy that has
Unless
the
I
abs.
took the cup first. I'm telling you, Rich, man. Now you're talking my language.
But we don't. Generally, men don't hate on other men.
That's it. No, it's very different. So,
So-
we're going to close it this way, folks, for you. Bottom line is, Rich and I come to you every week with facts that we discuss our feelings. We don't come out and just tell you feelings and try to manipulate them into facts. And we're giving you facts.
I love that.
And we talk about our feelings. And then you can debate maybe our feelings about the facts, but the facts are the facts. And here's one more fact that we're going to shut it down. If I walk into a men's locker room and you are dressed as a woman and you stand next to me at the urinal dressed as a woman and you can stand and pee, you're not a woman. And it's time to be honest. It's time to be honest. It's time to call this woke nonsense out. It's time to talk about the mental health issues that are going on behind it. Rich and I are not saying to you if you're trans, and I'm so sick of the word now, folks. I'm so sick of it. But if you're trans, we're not saying we don't like you, we don't care about you. The irony is we actually really care about you. But we're not going to pretend. We're not going to try to live your life for you. And most importantly, as fathers of daughters, we're going to protect the women that we care about, including their right to privacy in a bathroom, their right to privacy in a locker room, and their right to compete against other women. Rich and I love you. You know we're going to talk to you soon. Hang on, folks. The next 3 months are going to be crazy, and Rich and I are going to be your anchors. We're going to take the heat for you. See, we say stuff that you won't.
That's the truth.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
We say stuff you won't. Rich and I are going to be your anchors. We're going to be your foundation.
We might not be here that. We might not be here that long.
That's right. It's going to be grand closing. Hey, on behalf of the big dog himself, I'm the Wiz Khalifa, at least for today, of podcasts. Stay safe.